evening we have a lot of wonderful events that are going to go on, and we are going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and Ed Zaluski is going to lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And a moment for our troops around the world. Thank you.
Jim, you want to have to wait? And we just have a few words Jim would like to say, and if you would mind standing up, that would be wonderful.
The crutches in the
We need to take a break, you can say. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell you that I, along with other board members, think it's very important that the town of Cicero takes time to say thanks once in a while to Cicero residents who, through their community service and spirit, say thank you. Typically, the people that we honor have never held public office and are seldom in the public view. Instead, through their actions and lives, these people exemplify and set the standard for what it means to be a good neighbor. Ed Zaluski is one of these people. Ed is a regular at these town board meetings we have. Most often he sits just quietly observing because he's genuinely interested in and cares deeply about this town. He doesn't speak too often, but when he does, you can bet he has something worthwhile to say. But that isn't what makes Ed special. Ed grew up in neighboring DeWitt. After graduating from Fayetteville High School, he, like many of his generation, answered the call of duty and went off to serve his country in World War II. He enlisted in the U.S. Army Air Corps, the forerunner of the Air Force, and was sent to the Pacific Theater. At age 18, Ed was the youngest crew member aboard his B-24 Liberator aircraft named Tricky Mickey. Ed, who was the Tricky Mickey's top turret gunner, flew more than 30 missions during the war, including some extremely dangerous flights over Iwo Jima, Shanghai, China, and the islands of Japanese homeland. After the war, Ed returned home, got a job at Krauss-Heinz, where he worked for 44 years, and he joined the Air National Guard's 174th Fighter Squadron based out of Hancock Field. He and his family have lived in North Syracuse. Eventually he moved to Oneida Lake home in Cicero, where he and his wife Betty live today. Ed is very active in veteran affairs also. He often represents World War II veterans at military events, and if there's a ceremony or display of military aircraft anywhere in central New York, chances are that you'll find Ed there talking about his experiences and the sacrifices made by his fellow servicemen and women. But most importantly, Ed routinely stops at the area schools to talk with youngsters about World War II. He's one of the few veterans of the war that still do that today, including Lakeshore Road's Flag Day ceremony, which we have coming up. Ed once told me that going to schools is one of the most important things he does because it provides our kids with a personal connection to the war and gives them an appreciation for the high price of the many of our services that people paid for our freedoms that we far too often today take for granted. Many people have said that World War II, that generation, was America's greatest generation, and perhaps that's true. But knowing Ed as I do, and all of us do, I have no doubt that he would have risen to face and take on the challenges of any generation that he belonged to. America is truly lucky to have people like Ed Zaluski, and we here in Cicero should be proud that he calls our town his home. With that, I make a motion that the town board declare May 29, 2010, the Saturday before Memorial Day, as Ed Zaluski Day in the town of Cicero.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Being that
that May is Older
85 years
Americans
old.
Month here in Onondaga County.
We could, I think it was seconded by Vern. It's very official.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Jennings.
Yes.
Mr. Brano.
Yes.
Mr. Cora.
Yes.
And Ms. Boyke.
Yes. Okay, now.
Being that May is Older Americans Month here in Onondaga County, and in honor of this, I'd like to introduce the Young at Heart Club Steering Committee and Glee Club. We are so pleased and honored to be asked to open the board meeting tonight with a song. On behalf of all of our seniors, we want to thank all the members of the board for their continued support of us. The center means so much to all of us. It's our second home, so thank you. When we were thinking of a song to open the board meeting with this evening, we felt at this time in all our lives, this song was perfect. So would you all please join with us in singing Let There Be Peace on Earth. And the Glee Club would also like to congratulate Ed, one as a member of our senior center and on his honor tonight.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, children all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let things begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Congratulations.
Just introduce two individuals. One is Judy Dixon, our long-standing senior coordinator of the center. And somewhere in the back is Debbie Cooley.
Stand up, Debbie.
Debbie Cooley is also one of
Debbie.
That's too tricky, Deborah.
Yeah, lady.